Welcome back to CryptosRus. I'm George. We're all George. So today's an exciting day. You got to brace for the result. What result? Well, the debt ceiling is being voted upon. Are we going to get a default or not? So let's talk about that. Also, we got some pretty good news from one vice chairman of the Fed. So let's talk about that as well. And let's talk about everything else that's happening in the world of crypto. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully you guys attended the Twitter spaces that I've been telling you guys about. Talked to the SNEC guys. Pretty good guys, actually. Very entertaining. So hopefully you guys caught that. If you didn't, you could always watch it on Twitter. But moving forward, well, right now, U.S. market for the futures market, kind of steady. People are waiting right here. Debt ceiling passes in the House. So yes, that is good. Okay, now it heads to the Senate where it needs at least 60 votes. Okay, then it goes to the president. I don't think the president will say no because he's the one who kind of negotiated the deal. So now we got to wait to see if the Senate agrees, right? I think it's going to be approved. I mean, like, no one wants to see the U.S. default, right? I don't think anyone, even the hardcore guys that say we need to have a cap on our spending, we need to reduce our spending, all these guys, you know, they could talk about it, but to let the U.S. default is another, right? So I don't think the Senate is going to not pass it. So that could be good. But, you know, the deadline was June 1st, right? And I'm afraid now, you know, this may be going on for several days because now the deadline has been moved to June 5th. Janet Yellen originally said June 1st and then said all of a sudden we found 4 more days worth of money. So I don't know how long this is going to take for the Senate to approve this. Is this going to happen tonight or within the next 4 days, right? It's going to happen, but unfortunately, we may have to wait a little bit longer. And, of course, once it gets approved, what does that mean? That means it's time to turn on the money printer and let's start printing a little bit more money because that's the whole point of raising the debt ceiling so we could be more in debt as a country. Just think about that. We're all celebrating raising the debt ceiling for the purpose of accumulating more debt. Take a second to think about that, right? That's just crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. But anyways, let's move on to some good news, I guess. So we had Vice Chairman of the Fed. What is his name? Philip Jefferson. No, I'm sorry. Fed Governor and Vice Chairman nominee. He's not the Vice Chair yet. Philip Jefferson said that basically we could skip June. Remember this morning I was showing the percentages. It was like 60-something% for yes, another rate hike, and 30-something% no. Guess what happened? They flip-flopped. Now, because of his comments, it looks like we're not going to get another rate hike this coming month. That's awesome. 70%, close to 70%, is now no, pause, right, for reflection. Basically what he said is we've done enough. We can pause and then evaluate, right? Come the next FOMC meeting, then they could evaluate whether or not there's more rate hikes that's needed, right? So this is a big 180 from another Fed. Fed Meister or Mr. from Cleveland that said no, we should have more rate hikes, right? This is the exact reason why we don't only need all these Fed governors and presidents to come out and talk because they all have different opinions. And none of them really matter. The only one that matters is from Fed Chair Powell, right? He's the only one that should be commenting on these things because these guys, what they say, definitely swing markets. One person's comment can turn the market negative, another one turn it very positive. None of them should be saying anything They should just leave it to Powell to talk about what he's going to do. I mean, that's really, if you think about it, I mean, it just makes sense. See, now you got two Fed, governors. They're saying two different things. One says we should keep going with rates. Another one says, no, we should pause, right? I mean, they're conflicting. I mean, how do we know what's true, right? We don't. So, but, it's good that it does seem like high probability that we're not going to get another rate hike come June. So that's good, right? And we're getting out of June. Today's the last day of May. This whole notion of sell in May, go away, right? Well, we're finally moving to June, a brighter month, right? And as for Bitcoin, holders exited capitulation above 20K. I mean, I think we all know that, except the ultra bears that still cling on hope that we're going to fall to a new low, which is not going to happen unless the U.S. defaults. But, there's stats that show that. What's capitulation? Right when Bitcoin was around 15,000. Transition from capitulation to equilibrium, we saw that right around 20,000. And obviously we're a little bit above. We're not nowhere close to euphoria. That will probably happen after the halving event, right? But this kind of proves it. That we're not in capitulation. We're not heading lower. We are in recovery mode. Just like all previous cycles, they all have the same pattern, right? Here's another one that just shows our current movement, somewhat similar to 2016, 2017. I mean, there's a lot of fractal patterns. If you search hard enough, you'll find it. But when you add in everything else, that's when you realize, well, it makes sense, especially if you consider Bitcoin is scarce. Very, very scarce. Here's a really good picture. 21 million there'll ever be for Bitcoin. 16 million. And then out of the 16 million, you have 5 million lost. Lost. Okay? So think about that. That's a prediction, and it could be higher. Some people think it could be as high as 7 or 8 million. This number is derived from early wallets that have not moved their Bitcoin. I mean, people study this all the time. So it could be as high as 7 or 8 million. So if you think about that, it's crazy, right? 1.9 million left on the exchanges, and that reserves of that keeps dropping, right? And it's 1.7 million left to be mined, but that's spread out over like 100 years. So really, if you think about it, there's not that much to go around, right? So ultimately, what's driving the price up is scarcity. And Bitcoin is the scarcest asset that we have, right? Along with everything else, this is why we hold Bitcoin. But outside of Bitcoin, there's a little bit of Polygon news. Polygon has been pretty stagnant. In fact, you could argue a little weak recently, but several good news. For example, T-Mobile owner Deutsche Telekom joins the ranks of Polygon validators. That's awesome. Deutsche Telekom is absolutely huge in Europe, obviously from Germany. Yes, they own T-Mobile, which is obviously pretty big as well in the US, right? But they're going to power a Polygon validator. And guess why? Because they want to partner up with Polygon. That's why. And so many big companies do partnership with Polygon. There's so many out there. So this is absolutely huge, right? Also, their ZK EVM, Polygon ZK EVM, their scaling solution for Ethereum virtual machine, not just chain transactions, but for smart contracts, is exploding right now. 500,000 transactions. They also have a big partnership with Immutable X, which is also going to use ZK EVM, right? So in terms of transactions, growing by leaps and bounds. Also, this will help. Injective is using Wormhole to have cross-chain compatibility. Basically, now you can have Polygon and Injective talk to each other. They're bridged together. Why not? Why not, right? It'll just make things easier and, of course, bring more liquidity. So Injective is doing pretty well. Injective is on top of Polygon, in case you're wondering, one of the largest dApp chains within Cosmos. And now they have this bridge to Polygon. That's really awesome. And in case you're wondering, Injective does have a pretty mighty big ecosystem. There's a lot of chains, L1s, coming out of Cosmos. So this is why I'm so bullish on Cosmos, because there's just so much that's coming out of it, right? But I love to see more usage for Atom, because just because all these chains are coming out of Cosmos, do they really add any use case for Atom? Unfortunately, the answer is no right now. But there are a lot being developed right now. Yeah, so that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And speaking of Injective, their fees are really, really low. Much lower than Ethereum, Optimism, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Aptos. The fees are really, 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 really low. Sub pennies. So pretty good. Pretty good overall. Pretty good for Polygon. Pretty good for Injective. What else is going on today? MakerDAO's stablecoin DAI. They're getting rid of all the USDC backing. You know, there's something about MakerDAO. They always want to be decentralized, right? So they didn't like how USDC was a bit centralized. So originally they wanted to go Ethereum, but that would be a horrible idea in terms of using that to back their DAI token. So now they're going with US Treasury bills. I don't know if that's a good move or not, because they were their whole mission, their whole ethos was supposed to be decentralization, right? Utilizing decentralized assets to back their stablecoin. But now they're reducing USDC and adding treasury bills. Treasury bills, which is basically AKA dollars, that's exactly what we want to get away from, right? Like, so it's a weird choice. It's definitely a weird choice. And speaking of USDC themselves, they went the opposite. They ditched all their treasury bills and loaded up with cash. So what's better, loading up with cash or treasury bills, right? Why not just load it with cash instead of treasury bills? You know, treasury bills got some banks in trouble, right? So I would argue just go with cash. Again, I don't know. And then lastly, Gate.io, some FUD around it. This morning it was also FUD around Binance. Supposedly they're massively laying people off, and of course it turned out to be FUD, and CZ basically said, no, we don't have any massive layoffs planned, right? It's just business as usual. People leave. People come and go, right? There's no massive layoffs, but of course people love to spread FUD about Binance, trying to spook the market, trying to make it into a FTX, which it is not. But Gate.io is also facing some FUD. Some people think that they have liquidity problems because there is a multi-chain project called Multichain, which supposedly got arrested in China. So now people are afraid because I think the team just gone silent. Everyone's kind of like selling off multi-chain tokens. And look at this, Team Wallet's moving 3 million of multi into Gate, right? So there's a lot of stuff happening right now with multi-chain. I'm not even that familiar with multi-chain, but supposedly, you know, the CEO got arrested, so then now the team is panicking or something like that, right? And Gate.io is caught in the middle of it. So hopefully none of you guys are invested in multi-chain, because if you are, you may want to think about getting out. All right, that is pretty much it overall. You know what? Hong Kong opened up for trading. Don't see much action yet. Maybe, you know, they're just a little afraid right now. Maybe they're getting used to it, or maybe there's not enough exchanges. But I think we're going to see an impact soon. We will see an impact. A lot of citizens in Hong Kong, a lot of institutions in China, they have plenty of money sitting on the sidelines. It's just a matter of time they all enter in. Where's that thing? Yeah, I'll leave this up. All right, let's do some Q&A. All right, let's see here. Had a good turnout. George for SEC chair. No thanks. No thanks. I do not want that job. I effing love that. Yeah, I guess that's what the politicians think too. We are all screwed as humans. People at the top are greedy and corrupt. Power corrupts, right? That's how it is. The more power you have, the more corrupt you are. I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. Ryan Amara. Yep. Michael Saylor needs to load up more. I love to see it, but Michael Saylor does it OTC. He never did buys on spot Coinbase. If he did, that'd be fantastic. But he's doing OTC, removing the supply from the exchanges. Overall, it's a win. Joseph, appreciate that. I thought it was a pretty good spaces. Please come out, George Coin. I'm gonna try to buy it. Period. 2P2. No. I saw Crypto Crow release their. He released his own coin, right? I don't want that scrutiny. I do not. Oh, is today Wednesday? Today is Wednesday. Let's pull up my portfolio here. Oh, I gotta log in. Okay, this thing is taking forever to log in. All right, it's in. There we go. George Con in Australia. No. I love flying. No, I don't like flying. Even if it's first class, I don't want to fly. I don't want to sit for 18 hours. That's just too much. 1 week up about 2%. 1 month down overall. 3 months up. Right, so obviously we're going the right direction. Still not in the green, but we will get there. What should I get into? I actually did really have a good chat with the SNEC guys. Those guys sound pretty enthusiastic. Huge Cardano guys. You could tell they're all Cardano guys, just looking to build and help Cardano grow. So I'm almost tempted to add some SNEC in here. But they've been pumping so much, so I don't know if it's a good idea. What should I DCA? You can never go wrong with Bitcoin. Never go wrong with Ethereum. Polygon, I'm already pretty heavy in. I mean, Bitcoin is the heaviest, 50%. That's around right. Algorand, no. Gala, no. Sheep, Inject. I just talked about Injective. They could be a good DCA target. Arbitrum, Chainlink, Polygon. Yeah, Polygon's been really weak. Cosmos also. I don't know. I didn't think about it. Did I miss anything? Lido could be a good one. Liquid staking is so hot right now. I don't think I have Lido. IMX could be a good one. Cardano could be a good one. You know what? Yeah, I should add some Cardano. Rather than add SNEC, it's helping Cardano, so I add a little Cardano, add a little more of XRP. Hey, XRP, they might win the case. You know, that's what I'm going to do. Cardano and XRP. And I'm going to be heavier in XRP. because, you know, they might win the lawsuit. So I'm going to do $75 in XRP. Divided by 0.5094. 147.23. And then I'll put $25 into Cardano. Okay, 67.403. All right. So split it up. Cardano, $25. XRP, a whopping $75 for this week. I think that's a good choice. I should actually DCA more into XRP because if they do win that lawsuit, it's going to be huge. Huge for them. All right. What exchanges are you using DCA with? Well, I don't want to share that. So, yeah. But there's plenty of exchanges out there. I'm sick of waiting. When BTC 50,000, you got to be patient. You got to be patient. But this is the reason why I said, you know, when market's boring, all you could do is just hold DCA and maybe do some research, maybe build something, or maybe just, yeah, I don't know, look at meme coins or something, right? You know, I've been talking a lot about meme coins. They're a people driver. They're a gamble. They're fun. They can make some good money. They can make you lose money too. So it goes both ways. But, you know, in a boring market, you know, people look for something, some kind of excitement, right? And a lot of people made a lot of money. Today I saw a post on Twitter. Someone said I paid off my mortgage because of Pepe. You know, you love to hear stories like that. Do you have an educational video as to why you DCA'd in XRP today? I may or may not. It's a hidden secret. Very little people know about it. Nuggets versus Heat. Nuggets for sure. Heat has zero chance. Zero chance. But still, I'm not rooting for Nuggets. I don't care about them. But yeah. Do you have an opinion on Illuvium? You know, I used to be huge into Illuvium. But I'm waiting for their main game to come out. Is never done. So now what they did is focus on, you know, NFT drops and also their smaller mini games. But I'm waiting for the main game. It's been like 4 years. It's still not done, right? But there's a lot of really good games coming out. Some that I'm advising for. So these game makers that's been building for 3 or 4 years, they're ready to release their games. So there's some really good ones coming out. You should do a deep dive into Handshake Protocol. It was a long secret project headed by Joseph Poon, co-creator of Bitcoin Lightning Network. Long secret project? Why is it a long secret project? We're so secret about it. When did this come out? It came out in March. Has not done anything. Decentralized naming and certificate authority. Experimental peer-to-peer root naming system. So it's like unstoppable domains, but is it built on top of Bitcoin or something? No, it can't be because it has its own token. Okay. Every website you go to, right, there's like some kind of certificate. So it's trying to be a decentralized certificate authority, and then also for naming. It could work. It could totally work. But this type of project gives my head a headache. It's so encompassing. Let's just leave it at that. So there's a lot of projects that aim really, really high. I don't know if this is, you know, whether it's go catch on or not. That's what she said. A lot of people are saying yes, the co-creators of Lightning Network. Obviously it has the right people behind it, but again, can they strike lightning or get struck by lightning twice in a row? I don't know. I'll have to do more research. It's not like I'm going to like love it by looking at it for 10 seconds. Jimmy Butler is MJ's long lost son. Could be. Could be. But he's not as... He doesn't have that dog in him like MJ. Ram from Crypto Banter explained a few days ago, people in Hong Kong will not be able to buy immediately. You have to apply with the government. I don't know if that's true, but I know that the exchanges are still applying for the licenses. So not every single exchange can operate in Hong Kong. I don't know about the people needing to register. Maybe they do. I need to do more research into it. But I know the exchanges do have to get approved. It's not like Binance just opens up and says, okay, yeah, everyone go on Binance. So there's that. But I figure some of the exchanges have been trying to get approval for quite some time now. So I figure there would be some that's already approved by today, but maybe not. What else am I into besides cars, crypto, and Lego? Women with daddy issues. Beer, alcohol. I'm just making stuff up. I love basketball. Yeah, I do like basketball. I just bought Pepe. Hopefully it makes me rich. You know, Pepe has not been doing well. It's losing steam. That's for sure. It's down below 500 million. I don't know if they can sustain, right? Right now, it's pretty clear that we're not fully in a bull market, right? We're not at the peak of bull cycle. So it's actually pretty amazing to think about it that memes are gaining strength, right? So something like Pepe actually hit $1 billion, right? So even though a lot of these are down, imagine when we are in that top, that peak. These guys will be roaring back. Who knows? Pepe may hit multi-billions, right? Maybe Snack, who wants to be the top meme, maybe they hit $1 billion. You know, we're not even at that FOMO stage yet, right? So this time around, again, this cycle is very different than all previous cycles. We're seeing a lot of things that has never happened before in previous cycles. And it's kind of good. It's kind of exciting. Supposedly, CoffeeZilla's new comeback video is about Pepe being a scandal. Does he do any videos that's not a scandal? I guess not. But I'm waiting for it to see. What can he say about it? I mean, sure, some people created it probably to make some money, got it to the pump up to $1 billion, and then probably took profits, right? I don't know what else you would say about it. Like, yeah, it happened. But it happened with every crypto, basically, that got big. Yeah, I don't know when the Senate is going to vote. The House passed. I don't know about the Senate. There's 4 more days left. Talk about AI Dogecoin. No thanks. Talk about Cadena. I don't know what to talk about with Cadena. What is the best ADA wallet for a snack? You know, that's a good question because I first used Yori, and that's a horrible wallet, so do not use that. So I use Nami now, and Nami is pretty good. It works just like any browser wallet, so it's pretty good. And it works with MinSwap too. Pretty good. I think that's how you call it, Nami wallet. Thoughts on BTC Gold? No, thanks. Talk about girls with daddy issues. Bob, you're trying to get me in trouble. You know what? I am talking to David from Sin City Crypto because he missed. Robin was with us in Miami, and we had a hell of a time there, but David missed it. So I told him, hey, if you want to throw a really nice party in Vegas, right, kind of like a really fancy one, I'll go there, and I'll bring all the guys there, right? And we'll have a good old time there. So maybe I could do another meetup there because I did have one in Miami recently, right? A few people showed up. But maybe I can have another meetup in Vegas short term while I'm still planning for GeorgeCon, which will probably be next year. So that could be a fun thing. Carnivore Dave, appreciate that. Ben Cohen's party rocked. He has that penthouse party every year. This year I attended. It was really good. I just take opportunities to connect at these parties. Surprisingly, Ben Cohen, you know, he's a quiet guy, but I've been talking to him a little bit, you know, asking him if he wants to be connected to anyone, if he wants to get in angel projects or whatever. He's like, no, I'm just working on my website. He's like very closed. He's really like just really closed. Not really open to a lot of things, but that's okay. He does his thing. I do my thing, you know. Damien, he explained that once, and I doubt he ever did it again. I don't think he buys on spot. He does OTC. Coinbase has OTC sells all the time. You see these large exits from Coinbase. There's no way in hell he's still buying on spot. But he did it. I did see that interview before. Or a tweet. He did say something about like, oh, I have my team spread out 1,000 different ways. But that was very, very early on. Very early on. Yeah, you notice that? Tales from Crypto? I purposely get the label away from the camera because I don't have a sponsorship from this company. You guys could tell what label it is. It's white, okay? You could guess. It's not blue. It's not blue or red, so that's the good thing. All right, guys. Let's call it a night. Overall, debt ceiling. Still not a go. We didn't avoid default yet, but hey, we may not get a rate hike in June, so that's fantastic. Although somehow that just dropped from 68% to 62%. So I don't know what happened in 30 minutes that would drop that by 6%. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But you know what? Stick with Bitcoin. It's the scarcest asset we have. It's the one to hold long term. So do that. All right. Smash it a like. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. Have a good one. Take care.